Hello and welcome to the third video of Python programming language series. In this video I will show you how to run Python code in command prompt or CMD and how to install and run our code in Visual Studio Code. So to run your code on command prompt, open the command prompt or CMD, type Python and hit enter. Now this is the Python environment. You can write your code in here. For example, print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and hit enter. The code has been run. Or you can also say print 2 plus 3 plus 4 and enter 9. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 9. So you can run your code here in the command prompt, or even you can run your code in Notepad. For example, I'm going to create a Notepad file, test.py. So this is still a text file. We should change the extension to py or py. To do that, go to the view and click on the options, the view tab, and uncheck this hide extensions for unknown file types and click OK. So now we can see that this is .txt file. I'm going to rename it to .py file. Every file in the computer has an extension. For example, a video has an extension of MP4 or MKV. An audio file has an extension of MP3. Text file, every file has an extension. So the Python file extension is .py. So this way a computer understand what this file is. So we can write our code here. Open editor. For example, let's say print 1000 minus 500. Click on the run module, or you can use the shortcut F5 to run the file. Okay, and you see it's 500. 1000 minus 500 is equal to 500. We can write our code right here as well, but to write our code clean, there are lots of text editors. For example, Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, Atom, PyCharm. There are many more. So I'm going to install and use Visual Studio Code. You can use any other text editors like Sublime Text, Atom, PyCharm, and even Notepad if you want. But I'm using VS Code because it's my favorite text editor and it has lots of features. So navigate to the code.visualstudiocode.com/download and click on the Windows. Since I'm using Windows operating system, you can download it to the Linux or macOS, but I'm using Windows. I will download it for the Windows. Click on this button and the download will automatically start it. Visual Studio Code is a source code editor made by Microsoft for Windows, Linux, and macOS. Why do we need to use Visual Studio Code or any other text editors? Well, it has many features, include support for debugging, syntax highlighting, intelligent code completion, snippets, code refactoring, and many more. So when you download the Visual Studio Code file, double click on it, click Next, and I accept the agreement and click Next. If you want to create shortcut in the start menu, check mark this, click Next. I'm going to create an icon in the desktop. Next and install. So when the installation is finished, we can see that Visual Studio Code has been installed. Double click on it to run the Visual Studio Code, and it's right here. So I'm going to create a new file and save it in the desktop. Change its name to test.py. .py is necessary. Why? Because the Python file extensions are .py. This way the computer understands that the file we are using is a Python file and it opens it with the Python interpreter. Save. So we can use Python code like 123 plus 123, but how to run this file? So for that we need to install Python extension. It's already recommended for us because of .py file. It recommended for us to install the Python extension. What is extension? Well, VS Code extensions let you add languages, debuggers, and tools to your installation to support your development workflow. So to install it, go to the extensions menu and write Python here. And the first one, Python, which has this many downloads. So when the extension is downloaded, click on the reload to activate. So I should get rid of this. Now we can run the Python code here. So right click, run Python file in terminal 246. So it's working. Now we are all set up, and now we can use our code and run our code in Visual Studio Code Editor. One thing you should remember, it's necessary. Every time you write your code in a file, you need to add the .py extension like this, test.py, so the computer understand that this file is related to Python. We install Visual Studio Code, we install the Python extension, so now we are all set up, and in the next video we will start coding.